Amazing. Brody is out of Oklahoma. Brody, thank you for calling and thanks for holding. Go ahead.
How's it going? I called you a couple months back.
I got to tell you this, whether you agree with me or not, I don't know yet, but I like the name Brody.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. I like the name Jesse. Jesse.
Thank you, buddy.
But I was going to ask you, how do you? First off, do you think that your body, like your body, is God's voice?
Your physical body?
Yeah, your physical body, like
No.
when you speak without thinking.
No, it's just a house that you live in.
What about when people talk to you?
When they talk to me, are they talking to my body?
No, like it's a flesh-to-flesh experience. Is their voice God's voice? Should I listen to it as though it's God's voice, but not as though they're God, but an encompassing?
No. That's an interesting question.
Is God's voice just the situation?
God's voice is a revelation. He reveals to you. He reminds you of what you already know. He doesn't speak to you with words.
Right. We hear it by seeing it.
Yes, absolutely.
He's our Father, and his example is the situation we find ourselves in, and our decisions are our actions. Like, God doesn't do anything for us. He just provides a situation for us to make a decision, right?
I don't understand your question, but God revealed to you. He allows you to see, and when you see, you automatically do.
Right.
And you don't have to think about it. You don't have to.
Situation, right?
I'm sorry?
Like, let's say you're outside and a dog comes up to you and starts growling, right?
Right.
God's example is, well, you're in danger. What are you going to do? And then you get to make the decision to either run away or to stand up to the dog and try to scare it away. So, anywho, my here, let's lead it to this.
Yeah, because you're about to drive me to drink. I need a drink. But you're a nice man, though, I can tell. And I like the name Brody.
Yeah, I've gone through this, and I forgave my parents and everything. And I'm living the example of, love and forgiveness. And I'm trying to hush the thoughts in my head.
Oh.
And I was trying to figure out if I should listen to the thoughts that come out of my mouth before I think them.
No wonder you're asking me all those crazy questions.
Yeah, I'm deep right now.
So listen, Brody, keep it very, very simple. Know that every thought you get is a lie, all right? No such thing as a true thought, and you are not your thoughts. That's why God said, bring every one of them into captivity. So all you have to do is just be aware of them. You step out and be aware, meaning just watch these thoughts coming and going, and don't try to hold on to the good ones and let go of the bad ones. Don't try to control them. Don't try to do anything. You want to become the observer and nothing else. And just know that they're all lies. And if you get caught up in one, just relax. It's not a big deal. So Joel understood what you were saying about the dog, and I want him to explain it. Who let the dogs out?
So who?
Brody, you're saying that in the midst of a situation when a dog comes up and is trying to attack you, God gives you a choice whether you're going to be afraid of it or you're going to run from it, is what you're saying, right?
Right. Like his voice is every situation, every tree, every flower, everything in the entire world. And then he gives you a decision with situations to either sin and go with your emotions or to live with forgiveness and love.
Well, the thing is that he doesn't. You don't have that choice, because in that midst, if you have anger or fear, like Jesse says, your first thought isn't to think. You're not thinking right away, I'm going to be bold in this situation. You're just overcome by that fear. So you don't have that choice because you're influenced.
That's before you die. After you die, then you're no longer who you are. You're living through the Trinity. So if you live through the example of love and forgiveness, you don't have a choice because your choice is God's choice.
If you've
You're
overcome
just
that.
living.
No, what it is, once you overcome the spirit of anger, you no longer have fear. It's not in your nature. And so when if a dog should come and bark at you or try to attack, there's nothing to think about because you don't have fear. You just see how to deal with the situation. But there's not a choice between fear or not having fear. The Bible says that we go from being a slave of sin to being a slave of Christ.
Exactly. Love and forgiveness, his example, right?
Yes.
So I can trust in the love and the forgiveness in you to say and do what you do without thinking and using your emotions to guide you, right? When you have a conversation with me, you don't have to think about what you're going to say next.
That's right.
It just comes out.
That's right.
Right?
Yes, sir.
But what about a text message? So in a text message, you have to think about every word you put out, and then you have to, reread it to spell check, and then you send it off. But this whole time, you're in your head thinking about it, and you're not saying it with God's voice, which is your temple through the Trinity. You're having to rethink it.
You smoke pot?
Yeah.
I thought so. Are you high right now?
Yeah. Coming down.
Oh, man. Go eat some breakfast and call me back.
All right. But, I just want you to know that love and forgiveness, man, I really appreciate you.
One thing I do want to tell you, though, you really are a good guy. So it's not like you're some bad person. It's just that when you're high, it's hard. Talking to a man or a woman who is high off pot is like talking to an angry person.
Oh, yeah, I get that.
Yeah. And you're 23. You sound older.
Yeah, I feel older. I've really matured. A lot of things have happened. I really do apologize for us not being able to, or me to not be able to express myself more clearly. Man, but I appreciate your time.
You're totally welcome, Brody. You're a good man, but let's talk. Once we have the conversation, and then you get off the phone, if you want to smoke the pot, you can go back to it. But because you are a decent, good man, I would like to have a real conversation with you to see what becomes of it, all right?
Oh, yeah, man. I appreciate you, Jesse. I'll talk to you later, okay?
All right, Brody.
All right, appreciate you.
All right,
Bye-bye.
buddy. Amazing. He is a really good guy, I can tell. For 23, amazing. But you got to stay away from the pot. Don't smoke the pot. That comes from the children of the lie. They want you high.